What's up, y'all? H3H3 has been involved in a lot of drama recently, from his messy split up with Trisha Paytas from the Frenemies podcast up to now. He's been a hot topic for the past 2 weeks or so. But what happened just around 2 days ago involved Steven Crowder, who is a political content creator, and I don't really like either of them, so I'm pretty much neutral in this whole thing. But what basically went down was Steven Crowder and H3H3 agreed to have a debate. But when the debate was supposed to happen, instead of H3H3 actually going through with what he initially agreed on, he brought in another political debater to debate for him. And this person was none other than Sam Seder, who already has some past history with Crowder because for whatever reason, Crowder just refuses to debate Seder. And throughout the whole 40 minutes, nothing really happens. They all just kind of scream over each other. And Crowder kind of goes off on a random rant that's not even related to the topic. And then Crowder leaves the call. And of course, everyone ate it up. Which I commented on the situation over on Twitter, where you guys should definitely follow me at Spolt, where I said, I don't like Steven Crowder or H3H3, but H3 getting someone to debate for him is such a pussy move. It's like challenging some random to a 1v1 basketball game, and then he pulls up with LeBron James and expects you to play him instead, LMFAO. And then I get a reply from some dude who I'm assuming is an H3H3 fan, and he says this: your analogy doesn't work when you take into consideration the fact that Steven Crowder garnered a big part of his fan base through debating people. In the analogy, the person challenging is also an NBA pro. Like, sure, okay, like let's break down this guy's claim here. Of course, obviously, Steven Crowder is the more experienced debater when compared to H3H3. I don't even think there's a comparison, right? But that ultimately doesn't even matter though. And I don't really see how he got his fan base is related to this whole thing anyways. But sure, let's just use the same analogy here. A basketball 1v1, and Steven Crowder is an NBA pro, whereas H3H3 isn't. If they both agree to have a one-on-one basketball match, it doesn't matter how good they both are, because they both still agreed to have a match. If H3H3 gets shit on, then that's that. He still agreed to have a match at the end of the day. Like, don't start something and say, let's have a debate, commit to it, and then at the last second, pull out and substitute with someone who has way more experience than you. In the words of H3H3's friend Hassan,
you think black people... What a fucking liar, dude! What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude! What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude!
It's kind of crazy because somehow the script is being flipped and Steven Crowder is getting called a coward for refusing to debate Sam Seder, but for some reason H3H3 is not getting any type of flack for initially bringing on another dude to protect him and debate for him. And didn't H3H3 like dodge a whole ass boxing match from Keemstar after they both initially agreed on it as well? But what else would you expect from some slimy weasel like Ethan Klein? It's also ironic that this dude H3H3 was calling Steven Crowder a coward for not debating Sam Seder. Meanwhile, he himself was too afraid to debate Crowder and look bad. It doesn't even matter who is truly right or wrong in the situation, because the public is already so focused on taking a shit on Steven Crowder, and they are blinded by their obsession of wanting to see Crowder lose. And then they finally got to see him knocked down, and they don't really care how they got there. These types of, I guess you would call it, internet beef and drama are all usually settled by the public's perception, and the majority of people already hate Steven Crowder, so it's pretty clear that H3H3 got the fat dub here, at least in the public's eye. H3H3 already had nothing to lose by doing this, and he somehow still won the most out of all three parties involved. But to defend Steven Crowder, obviously he's going to pick and choose the battles that have a favorable outcome for him. What political debater / commentator or even content creator, you know what, actually scratch that. What person in general is going to deliberately put themselves in a position where they are going to have a hard time winning? That's basically setting themselves up for failure, which no sane person is going to do unless there's an incentive involved. And there really wasn't anything for Steven Crowder to gain out of Sam Seder. Sure, you could say that Steven Crowder finally could shut Sam Seder up, but I don't really think that's a good incentive for Crowder. And I'm not saying Steven Crowder isn't a bitch or a coward, because he clearly is, for deliberately avoiding a debate with Sam Seder for however long he has been ducking him. But to also defend H3H3, he was pretty clever in what he did. He knew that he couldn't successfully win a debate against Steven Crowder, so he did the next best thing for him, and that is to troll him really hard by making him look like a complete idiot and getting some internet points while he's at it. But after the stunt that H3H3 pulled today, I don't know if there will be anyone else that will want to quote-unquote debate H3H3 after what he pulled off. And this was a random thought that I had when reading a lot of the replies and comments from both sides arguing about who quote-unquote won and who lost in this case. But the only true real losers in this situation are the fans and communities of both of these content creators that are getting so riled up about this and are still getting so riled up about this whole thing. The only people that are winning in this whole entire situation, no matter how you look at it, are both of the content creators, right? Steven Crowder is getting exactly what he wants and what he does best, and that is cause controversy, which is exactly what he's doing. More and more people are going to start knowing of Steven Crowder, and some are even going to become supporters of him, and others are going to hate him, which you might argue as bad if you were a Steven Crowder fan, but a lot of these haters are sometimes even more outspoken than some of the fans themselves, and this goes both ways too, right? H3H3 is also getting what he wants, and that is to stay relevant and get more fans/supporters, which I'm going to guess he's gained a lot more fans since this whole thing went down. And it's funny seeing memes coming from both sides, and then all the comments being filled up with cope and copium, when both sides are pretty much coping, so it's kind of stupid to make comments like that anyways. But to basically sum it all up, both sides are pretty much cowards, but H3H3 is the bigger loser here for literally hiding behind someone because he couldn't fight his own fight. And Steven Crowder is also a coward for running away from Sam Seder for years. But that wraps it up for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and who do you guys think is the quote-unquote winner in this whole situation. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys all for watching. Peace out.